Hello everyone, Spaced Oyster here, and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy XII The Zodiac Age. In the last episode, we finally made it to Mount Bur Obisace and talked to the Grand Kiltius about a peaceful solution for the restoration of Dalmasca. However, he revealed that with the recent death of the Emperor Gramis and Vayne taking up his place, that's no longer a viable option. So we've arrived here at the Stillshrine of Miriam to pursue a new solution, the Sword of Kings that King Wraithwall left to the Grand Kiltius of his time. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. For those of you who play Final Fantasy XIV, the Stillshrine of Miriam might look a little bit familiar as we get through it. Not too familiar, but there should be some similarities to one of the dungeons in Final Fantasy XIV. Specifically, let's see, the level 37-ish dungeon, I believe, the Sunken Temple of Karn. That dungeon was a huge callback to this one in Final Fantasy XII, and it uses a lot of similar enemy designs, and I think it even has a similar, not layout, but architecture, like visually. It's tough to say. And that bat dropped an ice shield. That is insane. It's like they're saying, hey, there's going to be enemies that use a lot of ice. Better be prepared to handle that. This teleporter, we get to use that much later. But then again, I do have a hunter's monograph, and these are all avions, so I guess it makes sense that they're dropping the good stuff. Ooh, way to go, Captain Bosch von Ronsenberg. Sorry, it's still a lot of fun to say that. Alright, so to make progress, you need to activate this device. However, there is a little trick to it. You need to activate it while equipped with the Dawn Shard. So just throw it on one of your not mages and let them go to town. Let's see, it should say in the description, which reads, the words seem to have been left by King Wraithwall. Treaty Seeker, relic held, this pedestal embrace. Basically, yeah. Equip the Dawn Shard, touch the pedestal, and the statue's lights turn on. And now we can explore the dungeon. Now, if you want, you can take the Dawn Shard off whoever you had it equipped to. I personally like to take it off. You don't have to, or you could just leave it on. I am not making a lot of sense today. You can just leave it on them if you like, but personally I prefer to take it off. Partly because, as you'll notice, it drained Balthier's mist gauge, like, completely. And I don't think it can build it back up with the Dawn Shard equipped, since it forces his MP to remain at 0. Now, this room right here gave me a lot of trouble my first time through the game. Like, I don't think I even finished this area. Oh wait, no, I talked about it last time. I didn't even make it this far. Sorry, a little forgetful. Yeah, this is the only downside to having the elemental weapons equipped, along with elemental-specific gambits. The characters aren't as likely to focus on what they're attacking as easily as they would with other things. Did I forget to turn Bosch's... I forgot to turn the healing gambits back on from when we were in that area. Silly me. Silly me. Oh, neat. And that's the ability countdown. Let's see. What countdown does is it's basically exactly like Break. Break and Doom. It puts a counter above the enemy's head, and then when that counter reaches 0, they drop dead instantly. I wouldn't really recommend using it, because by the time you could by the time it finishes counting down, you could have killed them with regular attacks and magic. So yeah, another skill that's not really worth using. But the Sunken Temple of Karn from Final Fantasy XIV has these enemies right here. They're called Facers. In 14, I think they got something else in front of it than Miriam. But fortunately, we don't have to use the mechanics that dungeon used. In this game, you can just kill them, but in that one, you had to make sure they died on a specific spot so you could continue on with your tomb raiding. Here, they just go for this very bad horror gambit of, ooh, look, I'm part of the scenery. Ha, fooled you, I wasn't. Excuse me. I'm gonna check that other side real quick, see if there's anything there. Nope, nothing. Alright, so let's get back there. Alright, so Pedestal of Dawn. Let's go ahead and re-equip the Dawn Shard. If you are only using half of your party, you could always swap in someone you're not using to equip them with the Dawn Shard, and you can just leave it on them semi-permanently for this area. That would be a useful tactic to utilize if you're using a three-person party instead of all 6 like I am. As you saw, when we touched that thing with the Dawn Shard equipped, it made some stairs fall. And I suppose I should have showed what happens if you touch it without the Dawn Shard. It makes some enemies show up that you have to fight off. I think they're all zombies and skeletons and other similar undead. So it's mildly inconvenient, but you need to use the Dawn Shard to get through here. Oh, I forgot one last thing I could have and should have brought up about the Viera, more specifically Fran, and maybe to a lesser extent her little sister Mjörn, is that the voice actress for Fran, she was trying to give Fran an Icelandic accent, and I think it works pretty well. And this enemy here, I kind of hate it. It's a crystal bug. It impersonates a save crystal. You know what? I'm going to turn off Bosch's high potion thing. If I really need to use items to stay healthy, the other characters got it. But yeah, killing a crystal bug gets you a save crystal. And I think I'll go ahead and make a save file here, just in case. Yeah, there was an enemy, or not an enemy, NPC, I think it was Tetrin, over in the Viera village. He brought up, I think he brings up how some enemies mimic save crystals like that. But it's a small throwaway piece of dialogue that I actually didn't show on screen very well. And I think it's this room specifically where our second AFK grinding spot is at. This one is a little more complicated, but also a bit easier to utilize than the first one that we came across. There is a rare enemy that'll show up if you've been in the Stillshrine for a certain amount of time. I forget the exact amount, I'll have to look that up. But it'll show up, I think, in this room. If not, it'll show up in a later one. And it's able to use an ability called Necromancy that raises a bunch of zombies. your goal with AFK grinding against it is to make sure your characters can only target the zombies and not the monster itself. Since it has a lot more health than any of the zombies it summons, you just have to... let's see, what's the word I'm looking for? You just have to put up offensive gambits that only target zombies, so you set them up to target enemies with a specific amount of health. Lower than what that guy has, but higher than what the zombies have. And you make sure it's a HP total, not how much HP they have. It's a bit of a weaker AFK grinding spot because... let's see. Well, it's a bit tougher to use because the enemy itself, whose name I'm forgetting, he can inflict the status condition Doom. And there are only 3 ways to remove Doom. Three ways to remove Doom. The first is to just let it kill you. The second way to remove Doom is with an upgrade to your remedies. Once you get them upgraded with a specific perk, then they can cure Doom. And the final way is to touch a save crystal. It also inflicts a few other status conditions that can be cured with remedies, so you have to also set up a specific gambit to only use remedy on allies with Doom. It's really annoying. I'd personally recommend using the first AFK grinding spot and just have someone be a time battle mage, because time battle mage is super duper sexy. As I'm hoping Fran has been proving, although she hasn't had a lot of chance to time battle mage effectively. As for what else to talk about in the Stillshrine, I'm not exactly sure. There was that one, warp crystal stone thingy near the start I pointed out. That leads to an optional boss fight later in the game. I wouldn't recommend trying it until you're level 50-ish. And hey, what do you know, it warped us right to it. So this time, instead of touching the thing while equipped with the Dawn Shard, our goal is instead going to be to go down one of these stairs. I think. It's been a little while since I've done the Stillshrine of Miriam, so I don't remember everything exactly. Yeah, this door over here, it's now unlocked. And that Kiraga spell is sexy. I remember on the PlayStation 2, let's read the inscription first. In time of strife, the treaty seeker these doors to unbar. That was neat. Excuse me. On the PlayStation 2, I remembered I would have my characters who were healing set up to cast like their second strongest healing spell when characters were at 70% of HP, and then their strongest healing spell at 50%. I've been avoiding that mostly this time, so that way I can get as much damage dished out as possible. Because, like, even though Bosch and Pinello are functioning as healers, they can still do some pretty good damage. And I do want them to be able to dish out as much as they can. And you don't really want to fall into the pitfall of having all your characters focus on healing instead of attacking. Not so much of an issue in the Zodiac Age, unless you have everyone be a red battle mage or a white mage. But still, you do want to make sure you do have a couple healers around. And just one or two. You don't want to have everyone doing healing. Because otherwise, no one deals damage, and you'll just be caught in a constant stream of everyone is dying, and you can't do anything to stop it. I love these bombs, they're so pretty. And I went the right way. That was bad. I think there are some treasures to find in this room. Yeah, probably on that other side, but I want to go all the way around. You know what? Never mind. Let's just go this way. very, very carefully. The sunlight's a little bright right now, and it's tough to see everything. One good thing about these bomb enemies that we're fighting is they drop an item called bomb ashes. That's used in a lot of materials, well, used as materials to unlock new bombs and hand bomb weapons. Well, hand bomb weapons and ammunition for them in the bazaar. So definitely useful enemies. If you've mostly been avoiding fighting, I would recommend fighting those ones just to try and get those. I don't know the exact recipes or the amounts you'll need to sell, so just get a bunch. You'll be fine. And you know what? I am still going to be super, super jealous that these guys get to use Aquera while I do not. Alright, so here is the puzzle of the dungeon. You want to make these statues turn to face the big statue. And, let's see, read the inscription. Guardians 3, face ye the blade, with relic bearer join, your fealty swear to me. I hate you and your stupid things. You discover a mechanism in the statue's base. The statue looks as though it can be rotated. So let's rotate the statue. Counterclockwise. It would help if I knew which way the clock was pointing. But that seemed to be the right direction. I hope. Yeah, you'll see their eyes light up when they're facing the right direction, whereas before they were not lit up. So, yeah, that's how you know you're facing the right direction. I was thinking I was going to make a chime. Lots of zombies down here. This might be where that special enemy shows up. And it's based on a factor of time. You have to be in here for a long time in order to get it to spawn. Another reason why I would recommend the using break on the jellies over this one. You can just go right in, press that switch, and you start breaking jellies. A single trap in the middle of the room. I think this place is the first instance of helpful traps showing up, but all the same, I'd recommend avoiding them if you can. Alright, let's go ahead and have Vaughn and Fran use golden needles. So that way Bosch doesn't have to heal as much. Yeah. Sadly, just because you can see where the traps are at does not mean the AI is going to be smart enough to avoid them. It's really, really, really not fun. Let's see. I'm gonna go north. Excuse me. I decided to have Bosch focus on casting healing spells to keep everyone's HP high, rather than focusing on healing status conditions first. In this game, I can just pop up the menu and have the characters use a remedy or other item to heal the status conditions. But most of the time, Bosch's healing spells are going to be a lot more useful for me for restoring HP than they ever would be for curing status ailments. And since items are always used faster anyway, it's definitely a lot more useful to have him focus prioritizing on restoring HP than curing status ailments. Although that isn't to say that you should ignore status ailments either. A lot of them can be bad, especially when they're applied in bulk. Like if you have poison and HP sap up at the same time, you're pretty much dead. That drains your HP in seconds. Let's see. And just lots and lots of zombies around here. A good way to get a nice combo going, though. And that's always a good thing. Sorry, running out of things to talk about. Slaying zombies isn't exactly the most entertaining of things. It's probably why The Walking Dead doesn't focus on it too much. Although, to be fair, I haven't actually seen The Walking Dead in a while. I liked it for the first few seasons, but then I just stopped watching. It wasn't necessarily because it's a terrible show. I mean, some people are probably going to disagree with me on that anyway. But it's more to do with the fact that it's, that I just got bored watching it. Because, I mean, what's going to happen? Are they really going to find a cure, or are they just going to keep going from one place to the next? And that is a ninja sword, and you know what? I kind of want Vaughn to use it, so let's see if I can unlock his quickenings. It's Ninja Sword 1, so do I have... Yes! Quickenings 1. Ta-da! Let's go ahead and unlock it. And then I think I can give Vaughn some time in the spotlight while he's equipped with that. Yeah, like I said, I'm probably going to be dropping quickening either Ninja Swords 2 or 3. I think it's probably going to be 3 because Ulan unlocks some things. That also unlocks Ninja Swords 2. I'll have to double check and then confirm that later. But that is where you get your first ninja sword, and as you saw, it inflicts blind on hit. What you probably didn't see, because the menu doesn't specify it, is that ninja swords have an extremely high combo rate. So Vaughn's going to be dishing out a lot of damage now. Hopefully. Although they use ninja swords really weird. Like, really weird. Oh, right, I forgot. And I need to change up his gambits because he's no longer using wind element. Let's see, lowest HP. Okay. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure this doesn't have an element tied to it, right? Right, no element. I thought I saw it dealing dark element, but it's not. It just looks that way because of the weird animation, I guess. Although it might have been better to keep him equipped with with that dagger for now. Since those enemies were weak to it, he was probably dealing a lot more damage. The Kiki Ichumonji. What the hell is that? Oh, katana. And it's non-element too. That's good to know. So I can change Bosch's gambits too. So many nice things in here. Let's see. That looped all the way around there. Let's explore that other pathway, shall we? See if there's anything useful down there too. Yeah, I thought this ninja sword was dealing dark damage because it just has that weird slashing. Well, it has that weird dark purplish color with the slashing effect. In the base game, this was about the section where the first ninja swords would start to become available, although you could buy them at Mount Bur Omises rather than them only being available in specific treasure chests. So I don't know for sure, but I think the first ninja sword available was always the dark element. There's the treasure. A Loxley bow. Neat. And there's the statue. I might have missed a few more treasures. I'm gonna check over there real quick. No, I didn't. We're good. Yeah, it's really weird to me that they classify the ninja sword as a two-handed weapon, since every single character is going to wield it in one hand. Like, very, very weird. Let's kill this bomb first, and then I'll activate the statue. Yeah. Ooh, Bosch is now 31. So, Penelo, you're up. Let's go, girl. rotate the statue. Since it's facing backwards, we just have to rotate it the same direction twice. Oh, and I guess I was wrong about the glowing eyes. Because its eyes are still glowing right now. Wait, its eyes were glowing when it was facing the other way. Now I'm just confused. Or maybe its eyes were just glowing because it was turning. That was probably it. I'm gonna assume that was it, because that's the right direction for it to face. And I really hope I'm not wrong about that, because having to do that much backtracking this late into the episode would be embarrassing. Although, then again, I do have that one save point when we found that crystal bug, so not that big of an issue. Oh, right, Pinello. I was wondering why Bosch wasn't up here fighting, and that's because Bosch isn't even out right now. It's Pinello. Pinello's gonna kick all the ass.
Yeah. Yeah.
And speaking of kicking all the ass, it's Ash's turn to do that too. And I think I'll let Fran run around a bit. I haven't given her a lot of time to shine. I think those bombs are weak to water, but I've decided to stop having Ash cast water because I really don't want her to. It started to wear off in usability. Like, even though Arrow is still a tier 1 spell too, it gets a pass because it's also an area of effect. So Ash can use it to deal damage to a lot of enemies at once, even if it's not going to be the most damage she can deal. Whereas if she's using water, she's only hitting one enemy at a time, and it's stupid. Woo, Hammerhead, that's a new axe for Fran. Axes in this game look kind of weird. And we've only got one more statue to find. And once again, a lot of the enemies here are weak to wind. Ooh, door up ahead. But let's leave that door for now, because we know we gotta go this way, because he said there were 3 statues, and since they seem to be to the east, west, and south of the big statue, all we've got to do now is go through the west. Wait, no, this is east. I mixed up my cardinal directions. Well, 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 what do we have here? Something that looks very creepy, and I don't like it. Alright, so this is, I don't know what its name is, but in this boss battle, the party is affected by a magnetic field. What that means is that, what am I trying to say? Oh yeah, what that means is that any party member that's equipped with anything made of metal, they're going to be slowed down significantly. You have 2 options here. Number 1 is to remove all the metal from everyone in your party. Number 2, cast haste. Haste will counteract the effects entirely. And his name is Venuskar. On second thought, haste does not seem to be doing that. So, here is my evil plan. Well, my evil plan will be to just let everything run its course because Ash is destroying this thing. And I forgot to turn on my decoy gambit and target Fran. Sorry, I'm really out of it today. But honestly, this guy isn't really all that dangerous. Just just bring in a mage or two and destroy him. Just like that. And then we drop it into the lava. These girls are vicious. As you can tell from the fact that Penella was just jumping up and down while holding the gun above her head. Let's go ahead and turn those gambits off now. Don't need ally any haste anymore. I cannot wait to get Hastica. Yeah, there are a few treasures scattered about the room. I think they did add a bunch of treasures to every room. Every boss room, that is what I meant to say. And, yeah, I guess that's just stuff to try and be helpful. Overall. Now, that item we picked up was an accessory, the Sage's Ring, and it is super duper useful. Hey look, there's the map. Map of the Stillshrine, and our location map is complete. And let's rotate this guy once, counterclockwise. And with that, I'm gonna go ahead and call that an episode. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Space Oyster, signing out.